And welcome to Raleigh, North Carolina, the site of the Raleigh Radiance White versus Red game. I'm CJ Kalicki along with Mary Rippey, and we're here for the first, well, we can't call it the first official Pro Women's Ultimate game in Raleigh, North Carolina, but we can say it's the first showcase game. It's great to be here, Mary.
Yeah, good to be here as well. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So what are the keys to today's showcase game? Is today like a showcase game? Is it a scrimmage? Is it like a chance for people to show off their abilities? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a scrimmage and a showcase. So obviously we're looking for all the women on the team, all the women specifically from North Carolina, just to show off what they got right now. We did have a practice right before this, so things are still a little rough because we haven't had too many practices. So I think it's a little bit of a free-for-all right now. I'm really excited.
Absolutely. This is a really great cast of women out here. We have a great mix of women's players and mixed players. Who should we be looking for the plays today?
So some big handlers, I guess, right now would be Jessie Jones, same as Ashley Powell, Clara Calderon-Gouthey, and of course many others. Look for them to be taking the big deep shots. And then we also have some younger players on the squad who are still college age. Rowan Janes, I believe she is still a sophomore. She's very quick, has great hands. I'd look out for her today as well, same as Amanda Murphy from Duke.
Awesome. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the game today, and it looks like white will be pulling to red. And like I said, the conditions are a little wet. It's windy. There was practice for a couple hours before this, so as Mary said, might not be, the best of throws, but we're going to have fun watching this game.
Yeah. Hopefully some good defensive plays, some good snags. We love this weather.
Absolutely. And it looks like Clara Calderon-Gouthey with the pull, and we're off. Red picking it up on the sideline. NC State Jaega handler, Ash Powell picking up the disc. For those of you who don't know, Ash Powell had the game of her life as NC State took the crown at Spring Easterns in Wilmington this past week, but unfortunate turn right off the bat. Lyra Olsen picking up the disc in an immediate deep shot.
Oh, it's just the rain. It's a little slick out there.
Red quickly picking up Christine Bookhout, a triangle legend here for Ultimate, both for women's and mixed. Back to Ash Powell, and slick disc conditions that we've been talking about. It's been raining pretty much this whole day. Looks like she lost hold of that one. Disc on the sideline. Calderon-Gouthey with the disc now. Looking to take a shot. Big fake. Nice. Disc in the middle. Ooh. And just can't get it to Jenny Way. Your teammate, of course.
Yes. One of my favorite people to play with. Actually, we call her Callahan nominee Jenny Way for anyone who is listening. She prefers to go by Callahan nominee Jenny Way. I'm kidding. Please don't call her that.
And white with the disc again. Lyra Olsen finding June Lohner with a nice play there for white to give the break. 1-0 white. And what are we seeing out here? It's just we have a lot of turnovers, but it's just because of the wind. It's because of the rain. Maybe some jitters.
Yep, it is very, again, they had a 2-hour practice before this, so they are already kind of chilled to the core. So I imagine a lot of tense movement, which combined with the wet and the cold and the wind probably makes for a lot of turnovers, but that's going to be okay. It'll be a fun, gritty game.
As you can see with Ellen Yu, she's got a lot of layers on underneath. Hopefully she'll still be able to make some awesome throws like we saw last week when, of course, Tours took down Pleiades, unfortunately, for you.
It's okay. It's fine. I'm kidding. They played extremely well. Ellen, I didn't mention her before, but she went to U20 tryouts as well. a killer handler. She has some of the best inside flicks I've seen.
And a big pull by Calderon Gouthé. Picked up by Red. Georgia Say with the disc, and she's also going to take a shot, but like we talked about, that wind is just ferocious down there. And the disc is finding its way backwards. Jessie Jones with the disc. Oh. And unfortunately, we can't hang on to that one. Red's going to have a chance to make a play up the field. Elizabeth Parker with the disc now. And we're seeing the wind really take an effect on these throws. Probably the cold that has to happen as well.
Yeah, I also think I don't think it has something to do with the wetness too. Because yeah, the wind is definitely blowing, but not as strong as I think it might seem.
A deep shot that did not find its target. The wind also pushing it out of bounds. Elizabeth Parker picking it up on the sideline. Being guarded by her head college coach, Jessie Jones. But she's able to find Georgia Say over to Christine Bookout. A couple string throws here for Red.
And that's Brandy Scanes who just had the disc. She's out of University of Virginia, Hydra.
Georgia Say ditching her hat before she throws it to Christine Bookout. Red moving it up the sideline. Oh, and an amazing catch. Ooh, an unfortunate errant throw off of that. Really nice catch. Perhaps a slight conservation of greatness right there. White with the disc now. Jones looking for a deeper throw to Amanda Murphy, but cannot find the intended target. Elizabeth Parker picking up the disc. Swings over to Christine Bookout. And Red really using that break side field, and she's trying to hit Scales, and unfortunately was not able to find, or excuse me, Scanes was not able to find the target. Ellen Yu with the disc now. See if she can throw with all these layers on. Better backhand than I have, so that's a yes. Ooh, and Brianna Campbell unable to hold on to that one. Another star handler for NC State. Perhaps the scariest pump fakes I've ever seen in my life.
Even on Phoenix, we said that she has the scariest fakes, which is a good thing. That is for sure a good thing.
That's terrifying for a mark on a handler for sure.
That is also, that is true, yes.
Gaines trying to hit the around backhand, but unfortunately, the throw does not find its target. Mary, how much of this do you attest to this being like the first time that all of these women have collectively played together? We're talking about like people playing for state. We have University of Virginia. We have Pleiades as Calderon Gouthé takes a deep shot to Amanda Murphy.
That's the stuff. Oh, that's okay. That's what I want to keep on seeing, though. Let me just say that one of our teammates on Phoenix kept on talking about Claire's around backhand. And I was like, an around backhand, everyone has to do that. She went around backhand huck. And I'm not talking about a bad mark, a very, very good no backhand mark, and she can huck it. A breakthrough, which I think is pretty impressive.
It's very impressive, and it's good to see a taller woman as such as herself being able to go out there and make that kind of throw. Oh, and an unfortunate drop from Ellen Yu. She had power position, if only she was able to hold on to that. But as we see, White and Red are really trading turnovers here, and we're trying to see some sort of consistent offense. Oh, and there's that around backhand that you talked about, and it's just out there. See if Jessie Jones can rail it down. Oh, what an amazing throw. Yeah, you weren't lying. That throw was a dime ball.
It's the best throw to cut for.
You would have caught that one, right?
I don't know about that one. Clara, I love playing with Clara because she has a ton of power in her throws. But getting back to your question about if this has to do, if the turnovers have more to do with just getting the flow together, if it's the weather, I think it's definitely a lot about flow. There are some college teams who play exclusively host stack, some who play exclusively vert
And
stack.
a deep shot here, excuse me, from Elizabeth Parker, something we see a lot. And that's a goal for Red. Really good movement. So sorry I cut you off there, Barry. What were you?
Yeah, so I guess my point is, I think part of it is working the kinks out, because we all come from different systems, and part of it is certainly getting used to the weather out here. That was a great put from Parker.
I'm sure you see that a lot on Pleiades. Elizabeth Parker, she is a master of those flick hugs.
Yeah, she has really incredible flick blades, crossfield blades. Not really blades, but like OI throws. Hopefully we'll be able to see that today.
There are 15 minutes left in the first half. There are going to be 2 halves that are 24 minutes long. We'll be playing with a running clock, so you can see that on the bottom of the screen. It is important to know that as all these women do come from their own backgrounds, they come from their own systems, as you were talking about. They're all uniting under Eddie Alcorn, who's the head coach, who is also the head coach of Phoenix. And I know that being in the triangle in the community, I've heard nothing but good things about Eddie. Do you want to speak about Eddie and his...
I would absolutely love to speak about Eddie. Eddie Alcorn is the man. You've heard it here first. He's the man. No, but he is a huge supporter of Women's Ultimate. Just a genuinely good guy who wants to help out in as many ways as he can. And we're very fortunate to have him as our coach and just as a friend to women in the Ultimate.
White moving the disc up with Lindsay Sue, finding Jenny Way. Jay Way with the disc, being guarded by Ashley Powell, able to swing it to Brianna Campbell. On the second chance, gets it, swings it to Lyra Olsen. Finding inside to Lindsay Sue, their assistant coach and former Pleiades member last year. And we have Lyra Olsen. There seems to be a call on the field.
I'm her girlfriend, and I know she doesn't like bears.
Olsen looking for the quick leg. Oh, and on the third chance she had, she still couldn't get it. J-Way dropping it. Ash Powell picking up the disc. See a big, Elizabeth Parker unable to hang on to that one. Sue picking the disc up.
J-Way got her hand on that.
Nice lefty from Sue. Olsen finding Loner. And a big blade, finding Alex Robbins. A goal for White.
Goal for the White squad.
And this is what we were talking about with this mixture of people. You know, Loner is a Charlotte Storm player. She's a little bit older than most of the women on the team. But what that sort of dynamic that she brings, having like a veteran experience, but not even from the triangle, coming from Charlotte, what kind of dynamic does that bring to the Raleigh Radiance?
I think it just makes us a deeper squad. It's always nice to have a few people who have been doing this for as long as someone like June has been doing. And I know we definitely appreciate that sort of experience and that level-headedness. I think it's easy as a younger player to get wrapped up in emotion and excitement, and it's nice to have like a stalwart figure like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's also important to know that Loner is a 3-time Beach Nationals champion with also Raleigh Radiance team members Sarah Dieter and Kate Morrison, also known as Kamo. White with the pull here. Ashley Powell picking up the disc, finding Christine Bookout, who is in a handler position, which is odd for her. She's usually running and skying everybody downfield as she pushes upfield. Sarah Hash with the disc now.
Sarah was the first person I met when I moved to North Carolina, and she's one of my favorite people because of that.
As she gets a nice 15-yard gainer, finding Christine Bookout right outside the goal line. And that's a goal for Red. That was smooth from Red, using that foreside. Finding Skanes for the goal.
Goal for the Red squad. Christine Bookout to Brandy Skanes.
And it looks like we're seeing these teams, both of the teams sort of settle down as we see a nice replay of these throws. Looks like the jitters, the cold might be going away. The more that they're running, the warmer they're getting. It's easier for them to start getting into this rhythm. Looks like Savannah Irwin going to be pulling disc. A Houston, Texas-born, Durham, North Carolina living. She goes to Duke in the psychology department, so studied at Davidson, played on Storm. She also offers that mixed ultimate scene that we've been talking about.
Bowling for the Red Squad, number 2, Savannah Irwin.
A good pull from Irwin.
Let's go!
Calderon Guthe picking up the disc. Doing a high throw, and
Wow.
Campbell's able to snag that one right out of there, and there's that aggressive fake of hers. Able to shake the mark off of her as Calderon Guthe swings to Olsen, and ooh, a little miscommunication there with Rowan James as Red's picking up the disc. A fun matchup to watch as Rowan James is going to be guarding Christine Bookout, and see if there's a huck. Oh my goodness, of course there is, because Elizabeth Parker's putting that one up. And she gave a thumbs up to her thrower saying, yep, that's the one. Keep shooting.
Oh yeah, keep shooting.
Do you think Parker's going to keep shooting?
Oh, I hope she keeps shooting.
I don't think there's ever a time when Elizabeth Parker is not thinking about shooting. Olsen picking up the disc now. Little give and go with her handler, partner. With the cutters a little bit deeper, we're seeing sort of a homey approach here, letting the handlers go to work, letting the cutters sit defensively down. And we see Alex Robbins using her size, able to pop through that mini zone that's going on here. And we see White being very patient. They're not trying to force the throws. They're content with getting these little 3-4 yard gainers. Hopefully something will open up down the field from one of the cutters. Olsen to J-Way. Good pump fakes, able to break the mark, finding Amanda Murphy.
So I think this is what I was kind of mentioning before about how we all come from different systems. I think right now everyone's trying to figure out the flow of a host stack, and the handlers are doing a great job keeping it moving.
Olsen able to come down with that. Good defense from Skanes as she's able to shut the cut down. Ooh, and J-Way with a great bid to keep the possession alive, and as she floats it out to space, Olsen's able to snag that. Oh, and Bookout with the great defensive stop on the goal line. A little aggressive there from Olsen, and Bookout makes her pay. If there's one person on the field that's known for getting Ds at a good, convenient time, Christine Bookout is that woman. She's been doing it for years.
Oh!
Good D there from J-Way. Little anything you can do, I can do better. And a round backhand. Oh,
nice.
Wow. Awkward landing for Amanda Murphy, but she's able to snag it for the goal. What an amazing catch. And that around backhand that you've been talking about, Mary.
Oh yeah. Well, her step out is just so big. I wish I had that step out, you know?
I do. Oh wait, you know,
Right.
I think it's an over 6 foot thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, fair. Probably. I don't know.
Great catch there, as we see, by J-Way to save possession. And here's that around backhand we're talking about. Nice low release, and what an amazing catch. She had to reach back for that. Able to track the disc with her eyes, frame the catch, and also land in bounds.
Yes. Good awareness.
You can see the trees moving behind the red team. It is cold, it is windy, but these women are out here. And they're having fun. They might not, you can't probably read it on their faces right now, but they're definitely having fun.
It'll feel really great in about an hour when you're at home after a bath. Maybe 2 hours. Then it'll feel good.
The 2-hour bath, the post-game bath.
2 hours, yeah. Almost there.
Powell to Parker. Phoenix teammates moving the disc side to side as White throws on a little bit of a junk zone, and and it works. LNU picking the disc up. We're talking about young talent. and the triangle produces a lot of young talent. LNU is definitely one of that critical examples of that. You were able to practice and play with her last summer, I believe, right?
No,
With the Warhawks, or?
She practiced and played with the Warhawks. She and a couple of her other tourist teammates also came to some of our Pleiades practices, so she has already been able to play with some of the women on this field.
Very awesome. It's great to see her out here as Jaeger women. Ash Powell and Carmen Tormey moved the disc up, but an unfortunate drop by Sydney Harris gives White the disc on their half. Jessie Jones picking up the disc.
Now that's a nice matchup.
Loner with the disc now, and she's looking to take a deep shot. Opts for Sue underneath. Great cut by Kay Morrison, but unfortunately not able to bring it in. Becky Widmeyer with the disc. Swinging to her Jaeger teammate, Ashley Powell.
Nice cut.
Sarah Hash with the disc. Finding Elizabeth Parker, and no one's running deep. Big swings across the field, finding Becky Widmeyer. Ooh, and Carmen Tormey jumped a little early there, and Brianna Campbell gets the D. Campbell streaking deep, and a little bit of a miscommunication there from LNU and Jessie Jones. Looks like White's going to be getting the disc. Calderon Guthe picking up. Nice inside throw. Oh, and just off the hands of Loner. Parker with the disc. Sees Powell. Nice inside throw. Able to beat Sue to the disc. Tormey with the disc now. Nice little up the line. Nice snag right there by Parker. She opts not to hit Powell. Oh, and a great cut by Ashley Powell, but I don't think Parker saw her. Say with the disc. Good mark here by LNU. Ooh, just off the hands of Georgia Say. With just under 4 minutes left in the first half, and Calderon Guthe putting out a bomb. And unfortunately, Lindsay Sue is not able to track that one, but that's that around backhand hook that you were talking about.
Maybe with a little more float, it could have hung there, and I think Sue could have gotten to that because Sue is a speedy, speedy player. But yeah, I love seeing those hugs.
Powell with the disc over to Widmeyer. White's still running this sort of poachy handler zone. Looks like it's sort of man defense down the field, but they're really trying to poach the lanes, make the handlers have to throw it side by side, and if the throw has to go up the field, it's got to go through a lot of defense.
Yeah, I believe this is one of the defensive plays that Radiance practiced earlier on today in their practice, so it's nice seeing them actually use it right now.
Implementing the things that they've actually been working on.
Of course.
Absolutely. Oh.
Unfortunate.
And a little bit of a wet disc as Calderon Guthe picks the disc back up. And a big floaty OI put to space, and Jessie Jones just, oh man, an incredibly athletic bid from Jones. Just can't come up with it.
That's my coach.
Pretty sure the first time I ever saw Jessie Jones, she got a tremendous layout in the All-Star Women's game.
Oh yeah.
At Wake Med. It was disgusting. And I was like, wow, that is incredible athleticism. I had just moved to the Triangle. I had no idea that women's ultimate in the Triangle was so amazing. And I saw that one play and I was like, yep, all right, I'm hyped. And she continually does that whenever she's on the field.
Yeah. Jones or Jessie is known for her handler skills, but she's a really underrated defender. Excellent body awareness and positioning, and will put her body on the line.
As she is here with the disc, has a great cut, running Elizabeth Parker around. Able to play a little give-go with Calderon Gouthey.
Nice.
And able to get the goal to Loner. Goal for White. That's a break for White. And they're up 4-2 with a minute 10 seconds left in the first half.
Wow, look at that. That looks, except for Lyra, that's pretty much a college line. And Sue. Sue's not in college anymore. But all these women have, in some way, played together in college.
There's a lot of chemistry on that field. Sue with the pull. Nice upwind pull.
Less than 30 seconds remaining in this half.
30 seconds remaining. Something we don't really see in club or college ultimate, which is a time. So this is going to be something to have to think about with the Radiance, is playing to a time limit and having to see these sort of Hail Mary throws. And when you have Christine Bookout on your team, that's one thing that you really get a chance to, is Sue takes a huge big backhand huck here, looking for Alex Robbins, who's able to row just off her hands. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's
Whoa.
a big shot from Parker. Can Bookout run it down?
Oh,
My
man.
goodness, what a bomb by Elizabeth Parker.
What
But
a
that
bomb.
is the first half with White up 4-2. And we will step away.
And that's halftime, with the white squad with a score of 4, red squad 2.
So we're going to take 5 minutes for half. And so, Mary, is there anything that, you know, what we've talked about was something you are surprised by, or something you want to point out, or?
Yeah, nothing very specific, but again, what I was talking about before is that I think everyone's just trying to figure out the system right now, because we all come from different systems, and I think in the second half, you'll see that evened out a little bit more. I think the last few points compared to the first few points, you can definitely see that the chemistry people started to click a little more, and I'm excited to see some more deep shots connect in the second half.
Absolutely. You have to think that the practice beforehand might have had some tired legs, but honestly, you really wouldn't know. They're still running very hard out there. The throws, the first point, adjusting to that wind, adjusting to being in the stadium, they're really taking note of that. And like you said, you have a bunch of different systems at play here, and the fact that they're able to come together and essentially rise above this and play as well as they are in these kind of conditions really shows that, like, this is going to be an exciting team to watch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Another thing you don't see in this game is the fact that there really isn't any sort of, like, you can't see people feeling like defeatist. Like, there's been a lot of turns, and in any game like this is a challenging game to be a part of. We both have probably played in games where it's been cold, it's been windy. For us, being from the north, snow has sometimes been involved.
Oh yeah.
The fact that they're able to keep such a positive attitude on the sideline, they're able to have a sense of camaraderie. These women maybe aren't, everyone isn't accustomed to playing together, being that family, but now that you all have bought into the system of the Radiance, like, this is a good chance for all those systems to kind of be intertwined and for everybody to, bring each other up. And we see that the close-knit behavior on the sideline. We see people with arms around each other. It's really nice to see that on the sideline, especially on a torrentially windy and rainy day like it is right now.
Yeah. Actually, so last year on Phoenix, Jessie Jones and Lyra Olsen, Captain Phoenix, and Jessie's goal was to be a more positive presence. And when she asked Lyra, because Lyra is hype squad aficionado, she is the most positive person I've ever met. And when Jesse asked Lyra, like, how do you find in yourself to be so positive all the time? Lyra just said that it was a choice and she chooses to do it. And I think that can be said for everyone playing out here in these less than ideal conditions, is that being positive and being hype and supportive of your teammates is 100% a choice.
It is a choice, and I think that when you have leaders on your team that exude that sort of positivity, the whole team buys into it. And it doesn't have to be, everyone has to be, as you say, the hype train aficionado. It has to be the people that know that I can still be a quiet person, but be positive in and supportive of my teammates collectively.
Yeah, completely. I know I myself am not the one, leading the cheers or doing anything like that. But yeah, I certainly appreciate the different forms of positivity that one can, I think, take on. It's so much harder than you think. Like, the idea of, oh yeah, just remain positive, just, be active on the sideline. It's easy to say, not as easy to do, at least from personal experience.
Especially in conditions like this, where it's it's 40 degrees out, it's rainy, it's windy, it's downright miserable outside. But you're out here having a great time. You get to be the first women's professional ultimate frisbee team in North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's a really exciting thing that you all as teammates get to share.
Oh yeah.
And it's that buy-in of team camaraderie that really is shown out there, as we see before White playing some air guitars out there, syncing up with the music here at Cardinal Gibbons High School, as we look to start off the second half with Elizabeth Parker and the Red Squad pulling to White. White did get a break in that first half, so they do have the advantage here. Let's see if Red can break with a few of their own as the pull goes up. Looks like LNU picking up the disc. Still don't know how she's throwing with that much layers on, but she's probably warm, so that's good. Calderon Guthe finding you, and what an amazing inside throw, finding Olsen. Lyra Olsen finding Jesse Jones as White's able to put it on the goal line. Olsen getting the dump cut. And a break throw. Oh, and just through the hands of Alex Robbins. Good movement there from White. It was patient, it was open, just an unfortunate drop. Savannah Irwin throwing it to Elizabeth Parker. Big swing finding Christine Bookout.
The sags in the lane seem to have been,
apart from amazing catch from Georgia State. Ooh. Yes, as you were saying, the sags in the lane are looking like they're working. They're making they're settling for the arounds, that they're okay with the arounds, but they're not really okay with the inside throws, as Olsen snags it over. Bookout. Ooh. And that disc popped up.
Chest.
Yeah, hit Skeins right in the chest. Looks like she's taken an injury. As if the weather conditions weren't miserable enough, taking a cold plastic shot right to the chest when you weren't expecting it. Especially from Lyra Olsen, who, she's very strong. Put a lot of muscle behind that throw, more than likely. Powell with the disc.
Nice.
Red moving up the sideline. Jenna Dahl with the disc, finding Bookout. Ooh, and Dahl, unfortunately, not able to reel that one. You wouldn't know this. Dahl is a Florida player, but she's out here in shorts, so she must be just enjoying this weather for some reason. I
don't know what Jenna's doing with the short situation, but if it's working for her, it's...
And Campbell's taking a shot here, finding Rowan Janes. Ooh, and Rowan Janes is fast, but she's not that fast. Unable to reel that one in. A good look there from the Jaeger teammates. Ashley Powell picking up the disc. I already mentioned that she went into straight up beast mode in her game against UNCW, But what I didn't mention was how many points she was responsible for. I believe she was in on, of the 15 points scored, 12 or 13, either scoring or assisting.
Classic Ash Pow.
That is incredible in any feat of ultimate. It doesn't matter if it's as the disc is D'd by Calderon Guthe outside the goal line for white. That doesn't, if it's men's, if it's women's, if it's mixed, if it's masters or youth, somebody getting 13 of 15 points is just...
Oh, huge bid.
Wow. Huge bid there from Jessie Jones, unable to reel it in. Red with the disc. Book out with the tight inside break. Finding Powell. Powell looking for the bones cut, and Book out putting her defender on skates. Swings all the way around the field. Parker with the disc on the goal line, or near the goal line, excuse me. Looking for dump cuts, able to lefty it.
Wow.
Nice lefty.
That was put.
And finding Ashley Powell. Really saucy movement from Red right there outside the goal line. Throwing a nice, soft lefty. Something that I'm sure you can appreciate.
Yes, I love lefty throws. Someone who prefers her lefty backhand to her flick. I for sure like a good lefty throw. And Parker has those. And that was a very nice throw. Jessie was covering dump pretty tightly, and she put that right out to space so Georgia could run onto it.
Yeah, and as a defender, I mean, Jessie Jones is in really good position there. She's doing the right thing, and Parker just is able to just toss it right out to space and able to hit Powell for the goal. Past her defender, Alex Robbins. So a long point, but Red does come away on top as Parker's showing off her dance moves a little bit.
Oh, look at her go. Parker has a great slack jaw dance. If anyone out there knows that, now you do.
I feel so blessed that I'm learning so much about these Pleiades women. I learned what Buddy Anworth's name came from last week. Now I'm learning more about Parker.
You know, I actually think I'm going to go against that story. I think Buddy Ann got her name because we have buddies on Pleiades. And so, like, I have a buddy, Buddy Flo, Buddy Rebecca, and her buddies called her Buddy Ann. So I think there are different origin stories.
So conflicting Buddy Ann, just origin story? I don't know. This is too much. I can't. I'm going to stick with either. As Calderon Guthe is with the disc. And here is that little bit of a zone here. Sagging in the lanes that are maybe non-existent on this side stack, ho stack that White's running right now. Campbell with the disc. I don't know how she holds on to the disc when she fakes it like that, especially in these kind of conditions. I would just be flinging them out of my... Like, that is impressive. That's some serious hand strength. She must have, like, boxed before this. Loner with the disc now.
Nice round.
Nice around finding Calderon Guthe. Able to use all of her height to be able to get that. Oh, and a bid from Lear Olsen. Unable to come down on it.
Good poach from Jenna. Good awareness.
Powell picking up the disc. Sydney Harris cutting deep. Powell opts to not hit it. If she can see the poach, but finds Becky Widmeyer with a very nice inside. Widmeyer hitting Harris. Harris throwing it. Ooh, and I think Olsen might have gotten a piece of that one. Hopefully not with her face as she takes her mask off. White with the disc now. Kate Morrison swinging the disc as she clears space. Able to receive it back. Ooh, Becky Widmeyer almost able to poach that one. And Campbell's going to take a deep shot here for Jayway. And the disc just, well, you know, sometimes in the wind, the disc flow can be kind of unexpected. And right there, she thought she had Jenny Way. The wind had other plans. Parker with the disc now. Swinging the disc to Jenna Dahl. Dahl with the backhand to the flick side. Almost D'd.
Snuck that in.
Oh, and a little bit of miscommunication there between Harris and Powell. As White's going to move it up now. Olsen with the disc. Finding Sue. She's got Loner, but good tight defense from Dahl. Disc on the goal line with Kate Morrison. Kamo with a soft, ooh, and she somehow overthrows Clara, and Powell comes away with the disc. It's important to remember that when the wind is as blustery as it is today, the spin on the disc is very important. If you don't have a lot of spin on the disc, it's going to get affected by the wind, and of course that would require you to grip the disc harder, and of course it's cold. All of the elements are against people right now in these games. As the crowd's shouting for Parker to put it, she opts to not put it and swing the disc, finding Jenna Dahl. Back to Parker.
Nice.
Good cut from Tormey. Carmen Tormey's got a chance, and she's going to take a shot. And if Sarah Hash can read it, looks like it was going very, very far to the opposite sideline. I think there was a miscommunication between Hash and Tormey. Hash wanted it on the left side. Tormey threw it to the right side. Lyra Olson picking up the disc, the former Clockwork Orange, Princeton University Metro East star.
Metro East, all the way.
The Metro East, which is so dear to both of our hearts.
Unfortunate drop. That's okay.
It happens to everybody, especially in these kind of conditions. Powell picking up the disc outside the goal line. She's got Tormey streaking towards the corner.
Ooh.
Good shutdown defense from Olson. Good poach in the lane by Sue, and a break on the mark for a break for Red. Powell to Widmeyer. Jaeger Monster.
Wolfpack. It's the only time I'll ever say that.
Yeah, are you allowed to say that?
I don't know. I might not be accepted back in my school community now. But it's okay. It's fine.
As long as you say you don't like Duke, right?
I can't even say that name. I'm kidding. I think I've said it today. But
As we see the great downfield defense. You can see Sue jump the lane here, and by jumping into the lane, she leaves her defender open. Powell's able to break the mark. Hit her to tie up the score, which is 4-4. It's good to see the fans out here. I mean, there's more than you can see on this side of the bleachers. There's more definitely towards our side, towards the middle. It is very cold out here. It is very windy, but people are dedicated to watching the first women's ultimate game that is professional in North Carolina, and it really does say something about the community out here. LNU picking up the disc now, finding Jones, and Jones is going to take a shot, but Christine Bookhausen in the air, but oh, Jenny Way coming out of nowhere.
Jay Way for Callahan.
Rowan James trying to fake, but she doesn't realize she's in the end zone.
Nice. Isn't that the best? Nice catch. Nice continue.
We'll see that replay of Jay-Way's catch. I don't think Bookhout realized that Jay-Way was coming in so fast. Thought she could easily poach that D. But Jenny Way doing what she does best, and that's skying. Oh man, an absolute monster of a catch.
So how do you feel about that backhand throw to the flick side?
As a coach, it makes me die on the inside a little bit.
I love it.
All of my UNCB guys hear it enough from me at practice when I say that they'll be running extra sprints if they keep throwing that throw. There are exceptions to the rule, and that is an okay exception to the rule. It's usually those step-out ones where you want to throw because it makes you look kind of cool. But that one's fine. Little give-and-go action there. And Rowan James with the catch that was so good, she didn't even know that she was in the end zone. And a high pull that hits the ground, picked up by Bookout. Ooh, hit a receiver in the chest, and once again, that is painful. Ooh, just out of the reach of the intended receiver. Jones with the disc now. Little give and go action here from White. Loner with the disc. Oh, I spoke too soon. Curse the announcer. Here comes Parker. I swear when she picks up the disc, everybody in the crowd is just yelling, "Do it." They know. Red moving up the field now.
Oh.
And a big throw here.
Nice.
And Skane's able to split the two defenders, Loner and Calderon Gouthé for the goal. Ooh, oh no. And it looks like she might have cramped. That's a cramp stretch right there. And a great goal there for Red, as they're able to retie up the game with 10 minutes left in the second half. Fun experience about Brandy Skanes, because I don't know too much about her. She seems to be a Hydra girl, as you were talking about.
Monster defender, for sure.
She's played for a bunch of different teams, including Steamboat, Michigami, Tempo, Infamous, which is probably the coolest name of a team I've ever heard of. But she looks like she's meshing really well with her North Carolina brethren down here.
Yeah.
It's good to see somebody who's outside the North Carolina system come in and still feel like, you know, not only that they belong, but they're doing well.
See a little sag in the lane, stop that pull play.
Campbell moving the mark. I wouldn't get close to that mark. LNU taking a page out of Campbell's book with a big backhand fake and hitting that nice inside. And Sue's going to take a shot here, looking for Amanda Murphy. And if she can't catch up to it, no one can. That goes out the back of the end zone. I watched Amanda Murphy at the showcase game where Swerve, which is Duke's women's team, played against Jaega. And Amanda Murphy isn't the tallest person on the field by a long shot, but you wouldn't know it when she jumps because she can absolutely take the roof off of buildings. She skied 2 6-foot-plus defenders on state in that game, and it was the absolute most filthy play I've seen this year thus far, as Tormey has the disc on the sideline and throws it really tight inside backhand, which unfortunately
and she shakes her head at that one.
She instantly knew maybe that wasn't the right throw.
Carmen is great because she's always smiling. One of her nicknames given to her was Giggles. I feel like that's
oh, and a great cut from Alex Robbins, and Sue didn't take the shot, but Campbell will. Now let's see if Robbins can go up and make a play, and she does over her Jaega teammate Becky Widmeyer. And a great cut is rewarded by Alex Robbins.
Goal for the White Squad. Brianna Campbell to Alex Robbins.
And as you can see on this, you might be able to see the cut here from Alex Robbins. But Campbell up the line, and Campbell barely even looked. She knew that Robbins was in a good position. She honestly just caught the disc, turned around, and threw it. That's trust in your teammate. That's years of college ultimate, of club ultimate, of just knowing that your receiver's in that area and that you can throw it up to her and have her go make a play.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a member of the Raleigh Radiance, Mary,
Yes.
Are these practices that are like today, this is when you guys usually practice on Saturdays or on Sundays?
That's actually a great question. We, not to my knowledge, but I could also be missing some information. We don't have any practices scheduled that I know of after this. We do have a home game and we have an away game in 2 weekends. But right now, I don't know of any scheduled practices. And I'm sure that's going to change, and they might be on Saturdays. We'll see. We'll see.
And where is the away game, as we see Georgia say with the disc?
Nashville. It's going to be in Nashville. Super exciting.
That's a very exciting game to be a part of. Maybe not an exciting 8.5-hour drive.
Yeah, no. We did that drive for Phoenix over the summer. Fun when you're there, but not on the way.
Absolutely. As Book out with the swing throw, scooped out by Say, and she has the disc. Nice break throw. Unfortunately, not able to hit her target. And that was Sarah Dieter, who she overthrew. Jesse Jones picking the disc back up. 6 minutes and 13 seconds remain in the game. Finding Lindsay Sue. She's got Amanda Murphy in the area.
Those two played on Wake Forest together, so shout out to Wake. Ruckus. Wake Ruckus.
Rowan James able to catch the disc on their second opportunity. Looking to swing. Opts to throw it up the line, finding Lyra Olsen. Olsen with the buttery backhand, finding Jones. Throws it cross field to Amanda Murphy outside the goal line. And over to Sue. Wake Forest connecting somewhere. Evan Lepler and his Wake Forest alumni as well. Everyone's smiling.
They're so awesome. My teammates are so cool. Wow.
Really good movement up here as we see Rowan James almost drop it as she smiles. Good shutdown catch, or cut, excuse me, by the defender there, able to get it to
Nice.
Lyra Olsen, finding Murphy, and nice backhand finding Sue. Really good movement of the disc across the field. And that's one thing you see out of a good team. You see a team moving it side to side. People think that in Ultimate to score, you know, to the naked eye, you would just be like, the untrained eye rather, you would just think that you just got to move it up, down the field.
Right.
But as we both know as Ultimate players, it's key to move it across the field. And we're seeing the white team especially do a really good job of moving that disc across the field. That's one of the benefits that they're having in this game, is not getting the disc stuck on one of the sidelines. They're able to move it, and by doing that, they're able to gain the advantage on the break side. Ashley Powell with the disc, looking for the inside throw, and she's able to find Skanes, who looks like she's feeling better after that last goal she scored. Dumps it to Becky Whitmire, across the field to Powell. I wish I had as much swag when I played like Ashley Powell does. She always looks very confident with the disc.
This is true. She also has 2 adorable cats. I think a good amount of these women are also cat ladies, and I think that is equally cool. Agree to disagree. It's fine.
More dogs necessary. As Bookout's able to play defense
Ooh,
on the
that's a good
taller Calderon Gouthé. There are not many people who would make that life difficult for in the air, but Christine Bookout is one of them. Sarah Hash with the disc now, finding the aforementioned Bookout. Tormey able to snag that one out of the air, moving it to Hash. Harris in the downfield space, shut down by Robbins.
Nice D from LNU right there.
Really good defense all around from White. Ooh, and Red's able to hang on to it. Bookout swinging the disc, swings all around. If Harris can catch it, Robbins using every inch of her 6-foot frame to knock that one out of the reach of Sydney Harris. Really good pressure there from the Jaeger monster. LNU with the disc now. Robbins with the disc now. She's got Campbell. And looks like the wind just pushed that one right down before Campbell had a chance to get it. The Observer making a nice play there. Saving some time. Ooh, oh, that one changed directions right as she went to go catch it. Taking a big shot here. Finding Loner. Can she get there? Just a bit too much. The wind is going a little crosswind, but it looks like at that time it had changed, pushing the disc a little bit out the end zone. Unfortunate. We've seen a lot of Hucks today do that.
Hopefully some will connect in the last minute or so we have left here.
We'll definitely be looking for that this season as the season starts in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When you guys take on Nashville, that's got to be exciting.
Yeah, extremely exciting. We have a smaller roster going to...
As a big shot here from Powell goes up.
So close.
Little bit lower in terms of that one going up the wind, so it's going to be a lot harder for them to adjust to that. But yeah, as you said, going to Nashville, not the first. Oh, and a big layout D from Skanes.
Heck yes.
Like to see that. It's never easy bidding when it's cold out, but makes it that much more impressive when it happens. We're approaching a minute left in the game. Red's going to try to score here, and Lohner's going to smack that one out of the air. Good D by one of the veteran ultimate players on the field. He's also a dual sport athlete. Did you know that June Lohner was a Gaelic football player? She won a national championship last year playing Gaelic football.
That is extremely cool.
That's so awesome.
Absolutely did not know that, but I like that I know that. Wow, big shot.
Big shot from Campbell, and just out of the reach of Alex Robinson. Red's going to have to pick it up and move it a little bit faster if they want to have a chance to tie this one up. Oh, hate to see that one. That one went right into the wind.
I think it went back to a right where she threw it. Crazy weather.
There's nothing like wind to remind you that you need to go out and throw a little bit more. As Lohner catches the disc, that's a break for White. 8-5 with 4 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and that's the game. White takes it 8-5 in the Raleigh Radiance showcase game, as the last goal was scored by June Lohner. The first goal is actually scored by her as well, so she has some nice bookends for the game. Bookends for that point, honestly. Mary, any last thoughts for today's game?
If you want to learn more about the Radiance squad, check us out on Facebook, Raleigh Radiance. You can also check out our webpage and stay up to, or keep your ears open for who is going to be going to the away game, because not everyone is going to be going.
Do you happen to know if the game's going to be broadcasted for any loyal fans to be watching?
You know, that's a great question. I assume it is. I don't know for sure, but I definitely would assume so.
Very cool. Well, for Mary Rippey, I'm CJ Colicchio, and we're signing off from Cardinal Gibbons High School in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hope you all had a fun time watching the showcase game between the Raleigh Radiance red and white team, as White takes it 8-5. Look for the Raleigh Radiance to be playing again 2 weeks from now when they take on the Nashville. I don't believe I know the Nashville women's team. Do you know the
Nightshade?
It was the Nightshade, that's right. The Night Watch and the Nightshade. Very, very true. So as the Raleigh Radiance takes on the Nightshade.